Hello, and welcome to the World at War. Here on Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so that's, of course, our Scion 2nd Edition game. I'll be your story guide for the evening, Jason from Over the Nerd Eternal Network. I think I'm slouching. My camera's messed up. Anyway. With me, as usual, will be Sarah playing Sasha, Eric playing Connor, Rap playing Jaden, Decca playing Talarius, and Duba playing Robert. And who wants to review what we did last time? Or do I need to stop asking and do it myself?
No. Talarius found out that they were the child of a love god, which is really weird for them. For now. And we all found a safe haven in a bar. Or we have a safe haven in a bar now. We were just about to do something, I think, before we cut off.
We drove past a fire, and that is drove past a fire / hung around while a building was burning. Found out that it's kind of connected, possibly to Alpha Dogs.
Connor, I believe, actually bounced in there and saved a couple people.
Yeah.
A judge,
a jury, and an executioner. I mean, what?
I don't remember what the judge's name was.
Did I? I did not put that in there.
Oh, well, it's not too terribly important. The important part was the judge.
Was it the dean?
It was a dean that he said.
Oh, you're right. The dean. You're right.
I was muted. I'm like, why isn't anybody answering me? I wrote down dean.
I am screaming into my mic.
Yeah.
But you're right. It was the dean of University of Nebraska Olympus, which was the college that the Alpha Dogs were a fraternity at. He dropped the name James Dorrance.
And Sasha heard that name from two of the Alpha Dogs that were watching it. That said James had started it.
Sorry, I got distracted by a monkey meme. Well, excuse me, ape meme. But anyway,
what I'm here for.
The dean had dropped James Dorrance's name. Had explained to Connor, and I think Talarius was up there with him at that point, that he had been the head of the Alpha Dogs when everything kind of went bad. He'd been presumed dead despite the fact that they had not found his body. When there was a fire at their frat house. Him and some of the rest of them that were running the place had resisted the police when the police showed up. It was just a bad scene.
Yeah.
The way he talked, the guy seemed to be wielding flame.
Sasha overheard some jerk bags.
Yes, that were standing out in the crowd. I think she recognized one of them.
Yeah.
You had a fairly big guy there. And then the other one had been one of the flunky types that had come in with Mike at her school. So I think we had ended with everybody had loaded up and gone your separate ways. Well, by separate ways, I mean Robert was dropping y'all off.
We were also determining whether or not everyone was going back to my place.
All right, who was taking Talarius up on his offer to a spare room?
Sasha was. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I think Robert was actually going to take him up on the offer, at least for a night.
Okay.
Sasha was gonna at least check in on her grandparents and then maybe grab Smoochums. And then
Connor's-
take up on offer.
Yeah, Connor's gonna stick with his place for now. Although he is gonna
Um,
get the address so he can drop by in the morning.
Same with Jaden.
Yeah. All right. So y'all get that sorted. 3 of you are at Telarius's apartment. Next day rolls around.
Hunger checks.
Telarius.
God, I missed that.
That would be evenings, not mornings, by the way. Did Telarius do any filming at the fire?
No, they
Oh.
they did not.
All right. Well, it's all over the news about what had happened to the dean. Both he and his wife are expected to be all right. She was suffering. Well, they both were suffering from some smoke inhalation. Hers was much worse. She was actually unconscious, I think,
Mm-hmm.
when they carted her off. He has spoken to the press. He doesn't mention anything about James Dorrance throwing fire around, but he does mention that he saw James Dorrance there. And that James started the fire. He just doesn't go into how he started the fire. The police have an APB out on him. But, well, he'd been assumed dead. Nobody's seen him in all this time, so clearly he knows how to lay low.
Mm-hmm.
Some people did get footage of Connor pulling the couple out of the fire.
Yeah.
Nobody seemed to have footage of you landing, on the house before you bust into the window.
Mm-hmm.
The one or two that were filming at the time, it's like they were pointing over at the firefighters. You hear them make an exclamation. By the time they get their camera up, you're already standing there. The staff's already out of sight.
Yeah.
And they see you break into the window and then come out, carrying the lady. The press, I don't think, had gotten there quite yet, so this is all cell phone footage.
Yeah.
The police report, on the news, they mention, some assistance, but they don't call you by name.
Right.
I just appreciate how absolutely inept everyone is at recording in this world.
Very opposite
It's
vampires.
it's very Cloverfield.
Mm.
But it does not take people online long to figure out that it was Connor, though.
Yeah.
You already have that other footage of fighting, so. And he was seen to be very agile in that. Oh, but he did use his staff to get off the roof.
Uh-huh.
So they've got the full film of that, him pulling something out and just extending down to the ground, and then him, twirling down it.
Yep.
There's a think piece. Connor, hero or menace? It's just a picture of him swirling down the pole.
Uh-huh.
What I have a feeling that was made into a GIF, just wee.
The role model or male stripper. So I don't know if male strippers actually use poles.
Uh-huh.
As I recall, Chippendale were like little weasels, not monkeys.
Chipmunks.
I mean,
Chipmunk, there it is.
to be fair, if you're going in that aspect with a tail, at least he could just support himself up and do freestyle,
Yeah,
movement.
yeah. Oh, God.
But
Come on, Eric. You know I love you.
so once again, Connor's phone gets blown up that morning by the press trying to get a hold of you.
Okay.
Do you choose to answer them?
Hilarious would have also, like, if this is his first time dealing with the press, Hilarious would have also, like, been like, don't answer them. They're just gonna be ask you a bunch of dumb questions and then twist it to whatever they're doing. On CNN, you're a hero. On Fox News, you're an asshole.
Connor hears that, takes one look at his phone, just grins.
Why are you
Grins,
giving
but does
him
he answer the
ideas?
phone?
He'll look up numbers to see what number is which. Like for what station.
It's mostly local stations at this point. You haven't made national news.
Well,
This is just a
yeah.
local story about one local guy that ran in and helped the people out of a fire.
If he recognized the number of the station that his grandfather watches, he'll answer that one.
Grandpa, I'm on the news.
Yeah, basically.
It's somebody from the station. It's not an actual reporter there to ask questions. It's somebody from the station wanting to get interviewed. Wanting to set up an interview with you. It's more like one of the kind of management staff or whatever.
Okay. Well, what would that interview include?
Well, they'd like you to come into the studio, do like a sit-down interview. Though they can send a crew out to your house if you'd just like to, stand in front of your house or in your living room or whatever. They'd have, one of the anchors from the 6 o'clock news come in, ask you a few background questions. They're not going to get too personal.
Yeah.
Just kind of background questions, let the viewers kind of know who you are. And then just ask you questions about what happened. Why you were in the area. Why you rushed forward to help like that when a lot of people were just watching. What made you decide to help despite the fact that the firefighters were already on the scene.
He'll agree to that. He'll go to the studio.
Oh, that would be great. What time is good for you?
Afternoon. I usually go on my runs in the morning.
That'd be fine. He sets up an appointment for like 2 o'clock or something. Gives you the address to where the studio actually is.
Okay.
Let's see.
I guess I know what he's doing this afternoon.
Indeed. Jaden, how are you starting your morning?
Well, she doesn't have any classes today, so she'd of course wake up early, while it's kind of still dark out. Eat, have her coffee, grab Spruce and probably go down to the Grove and just spend the morning out in nature.
Okay. Well, Spruce is always happy to go to the Grove. All 3 of his heads.
Even the pissed off head is just like, yeah, sure.
Walks? Sure. There's people out there I can growl at. And all of you that are at Telarius is.
Hilarious wakes up at like. So everyone else is probably up before they are.
Oh, you said he got a. I didn't catch you. What time?
They usually wake up around noon, so everyone else is more than likely awake before they are.
Oh please, Robert would have been up at like 5 or 6 in the morning. Already had a
Yeah.
cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
same.
Probably sitting there either reading the news. If there's not a newspaper around, he's probably scrolling on his phone, like, "Oh, what's up today?"
Yeah,
Hilarious
doesn't
there's
Oh, go ahead.
let's say there's probably like something there, but like they don't read the news. They just it's like a little decoration for them.
Sasha would wake up, go check on her grandparents, and probably come back.
They're finishing up
See how
breakfast
the
when you get there.
yeah, see how the window repair's going on the nursery and all that.
They got the window up. They got the guy coming by to do the little stenciling or whatever you call it when they put the signage up.
Yeah, the window painting and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, the window itself is up. You know, the door, the glass panel on the door is fixed. The way they talk, they're gonna give another day or two maybe, and then they'll probably open back up.
Okay.
You know, nobody's come by and tried to smash the thing up again since they've been closed.
Yeah.
Your grandmother wants to know, you know, how your little get together went the day before. You know, you'd swung by that night and talked to him, but just briefly.
It is fine.
I couldn't help but notice that he smelled like smoke when you got home. Not as strongly as well, actually, I don't know if any of the rest of the guys came up with you, or they just went down in the truck where you ran up, checked, and then came back.
That would be entirely up to them.
Yeah.
But I guess we drove past the fire that was in the news with the local dean.
No. I thought that fella looked familiar that got the dean out.
He's not fond of keeping his nose in his own business.
Well, I wouldn't call getting people out of a burning building him being nosy.
It's fair, but feels the need to interject himself upon situations.
Well, some people like to help. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the firefighters were already there, so. All right, dude.
Where's my plate, Natasha?
What?
Where's my plate?
You're not
Bitch,
here.
you ain't here.
Otherwise, I would have made you one.
Yeah, give it a few months.
That settles it. I'm getting Taco Bell again after stream, but I bet it won't be as good.
Bring enough to share with the whole class.
I technically made 9 enchiladas, so technically one for
So
each.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We're on our way. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Screw this game.
I'll,
I'm getting food.
I'll be back I'll be back for like the last 30 minutes of the stream. Good to see me in their camera.
And Sasha's just like, I'm assuming everyone's okay, though.
Oh, okay.
Do you need me
I
to pick
wonder-
anything up? Oh, yes.
Oh no. I think we're pretty well settled here. I was just wondering if that young fellow was single.
I do not know. Why would you be interested? Do you have Grandpa?
Oh, I was thinking about it for somebody else.
I'm going now. I'll see you later.
She's just staring at you over her cup of coffee.
I'm going now. I will see you later. She walks out.
This conversation is turning into a confrontation.
She's like, no. Taking my hippo crocodile line and leaving.
From in the living room, with you hear a TV on, you hear your grandfather. Bye. Stay safe.
That is the plan. I'll call later. If you need anything, just text me.
Don't come back unless you have grandchildren.
She is the grandchildren.
Great grandchildren. Holds up smooches.
Grandchildren.
Mhm.
I have this plant. and this hippo dog.
All right, so you get back to Laris's.
They're probably at this point making breakfast. It's just 2 hot pockets and like some orange juice.
Hot pockets.
I'm figuring
Uh,
with pizza, hot pockets, and orange juice.
exactly. That's exactly what I just had.
How did you kill
Uh,
your taste buds that fast?
I don't have a sense of smell. My taste buds are already dead.
I mean, as I'm told all the time, it's like, did you even taste your food? Yes, it was delicious. What did it taste
Uh-huh.
like? I don't know. I eat too fast.
Hi, Scully. Can mommy have her chair now?
No, mother, this is my chair. Clearly, this
Yep.
is my chair.
It's got my name on it. See?
It's got my name on it, starts making biscuits.
Doink.
You're not wrong.
Sasha sees the pizza, hot pockets, and orange juice, just like, who hurt you?
It's her first truly emotional response in the entire game.
She's got some. She
Hilarious.
doesn't have
It's
much
like-
standards, but
Hilarious
Orange.
just looks at her. It's like, what do you like with the hot pocket halfway in their mouth? Like, what do you mean?
that's a combination.
Uh-huh. It is.
Okay. Goes and sits down.
Would you like some?
No. You enjoy that.
I will. They're like feeling a little self-conscious now.
Robert
it-
comes.
Had y'all
Robert
made
comes
any
around with a
plans
cup
to
of
meet up
coffee.
the next day?
Oh,
Probably
That's a good question.
should.
I mean, Connor had mentioned getting the address so he could check up on you.
oh yeah.
Was Jaden planning to look in on him at all?
Depends on the time they want to meet up.
All right, then that's back to my question. Had y'all set up a time y'all will get together?
I don't think we had.
No.
Not
Do we
formally.
wanna say
Not
we had?
formally. It's one of those.
Yeah, you'd have the long car ride back, so you're not long. But you'd
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
car
I mean,
ride
we
back.
could say we could meet up midday or evening or something.
2 or 3 o'clock after Talaris has had breakfast.
Well, Monkey Boy has an interview, I think, at 2.
Oh, that's true.
You don't know about that though.
We don't, but we would assume that you wouldn't schedule something at the same time that there's a meeting.
Yeah.
Well,
On-
would Connor tell us that he's going to be on the news?
No. He wouldn't.
Surprise!
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
Why
I
is he
can't
at
come
this
over at
meeting?
2. I'm busy.
For the Chaos Monkey Child being busy, that's good or bad. Take your pick.
Yeah.
Okay, someone pick a
Oh.
time and we'll meet.
Just be in the
3,
evening.
4.
Or noon is fine.
Yeah, then you're just finishing your breakfast as everybody else is showing up.
Yeah. Everyone judges Talarius as with their breakfast choice.
And their fluffy bunny slippers.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Jaden would probably be munching on like a granola bar. So
They
Oh.
are a fashionista when they're on the streets. When they're in their apartment, they're just in like warm-ups and just like a robe.
Still walking around with bed head.
So yeah, if Connor rolls up at noon, then
That'd be about the time he rolled up, yeah.
just like scratching their side like this. That's like, oh hey guys.
Robert's probably on his third cup of coffee.
You're not nearly as fluffy. Who are you?
still hilarious. I just got up.
It's noon.
Uh-huh.
Connor, you want some eggs? Maybe some bacon? I got coffee.
D- Bacon, sure. Why the fuck are you asleep at noon?
I don't sleep much.
Uh,
You got problems.
No.
I'm about to say, this is my 5th cup of coffee, and it is going on noon, so you know. Yeah, fuck it.
How do
Alright,
you people do this? Okay.
They were
we're all
probably
well,
up late.
we're all here. We can talk about the monkey in the room. Sorry, the elephant in the room.
I mean, yeah, I'm here. What up? Please talk about me more. Stroke my ego.
Uh-huh.
No.
Careful,
Uh,
son. I don't think we need to go that far.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
we have an address, don't we? Or we have a place to
we
look
have
at?
an area.
We have an area to look at?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Mm.
planning on heading there this afternoon.
I'm
Afternoon.
sure there are places where you could look at old newspapers. Perhaps there's more information there.
Library maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure they have archives.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you can do the reconnaissance, Connor. Just don't go alone.
Dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Uh-huh.
How many
Uh-huh.
cups
Uh-huh.
of coffee have you had?
None.
Oh my god.
He's just like this.
Too much energy.
I cannot function during the day if I don't wake up by about 5 or 5:30 in the morning.
As we just
Ugh.
say, Robert looks at Connor just like, I think you've had at least 6 shots of espresso. You sure you haven't had a cup of coffee? I'm positive you have.
I haven't. I mean, I had some tea this morning.
Oh, right. There are tea
Hell's in
drinkers
that
that can be
tea.
energetic.
The hell's in that tea?
Ginseng.
It's hilarious. He does actually, do the healthy stuff,
I had
unlike
a peach.
most of us.
Ew. Gross.
What? I like peaches.
No, peaches are good. The healthy living thing. Overrated. What am I gonna do? Die of tooth decay?
Possibly, depending on how you care for your teeth.
She's got a point.
They smile and they're just shiny teeth.
me,
And
the
you'll
pl-
die from something far more traumatic,
I'd say
likely.
me, the player, being in the dental industry. Yes, you can.
Oh no. Jeremy knows. Hilarious is making a joke. Because they are
Gingivitis.
endemic. They are god adjacent now.
hmm
It doesn't necessarily make you immune to disease, but okay.
In our heads, it does.
Head cannon.
We don't know any better yet.
Yeah.
So, plan reconnaissance in the afternoon.
Yep. That is the plan.
Who are you taking with you, Connor?
Me, myself, and I.
No.
They know your face. You put it everywhere.
Yeah. That's the point.
And they don't know our face? They attacked
No.
us.
They know all of us.
No, they don't.
The point of not taking everyone is so that, or taking someone with you is so that you don't get surrounded and we hear about you on the news unconscious in a ditch somewhere.
They'd have to be really good to surround me. I'm usually way up high.
They could just shoot you.
They could try. Well, it'll be fine. So, not like I'm gonna go bounce around and go, "Hey, bitches, here I am."
I mean, I remember one of them
I
telling me
think
that
you
when I
absolutely
said
would.
I shoot them, and I actually did shoot a piece of their skin off. So you never know, they actually might shoot you.
Do we even know where we're going to perform this reconnaissance?
Yeah. He'll pull out his phone and point to the section of the city that the dean said that the frat house was at.
That's
There.
a lot. That's going to take some time.
Yes. And of all of us, I'm the one that can run up and down vertical surfaces with no problem.
Running
And
up and down vertical surfaces, though, will draw attention.
You know, the
In broad
benefit
daylight.
is I have a vehicle. We could just go riding around. How about that?
well,
Be
this idea,
safer.
you can do that, and I could hang out on roofs.
Okay. You know what? You do you, Sonny Jim. And tag team reconnaissance maybe? Yeah, no.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that's why I said you in the truck, me on the roof, ground and
That'll
air.
that is much more acceptable. And then whoever's good at like the book stuff can go to the library and look at old news clippings.
That'd be
Well,
Smarty McSmart pants. He points at Sasha.
I'll
Mm.
go with you, Sasha.
I'm gifted in some things. We'll see how good I am at finding stuff in news clippings.
I'll go with you, Sasha. Again, none of us are alone. And
It'll be
Jaden, it's your kind of pick of the litter, which either one you want to go to.
I guess I'll just go to the college library and find something there.
Okay.
Do you know if
Be
maybe
careful. Hmm?
would the college have any record of them, or perhaps other fraternities might know of them still? Have
Probably.
perhaps some of the more rowdy ones might know of their goings on?
I mean, we can definitely check and ask.
You can do that. But I will say that the point of all of us going to in groups is so that they don't catch us. They don't crash through our dojos or smash up our flower shops or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think they kind of beat us to that already, bud.
Sure, but at
Trying to
least
prevent it from
when we
happening
are
a second time.
together,
I mean,
yes,
it might be a bit harder at a university for them to try to be more rowdy.
They threw bricks on a street in broad daylight. I don't think they care about being rowdy.
No, I mean, like trying to start stuff at a school with cops probably patrolling every now and again or security versus the streets where you have to call the cops and wait for them to get to you.
I have a related question. How long did it take the police to get to any of you?
Not long.
Not horribly long, but
But it took a while, and they were doing something in the meantime, right?
I mean, if they weren't in the area, it could be expected. I don't approve of it, but
Well, the thing is, the police here not don't seem to be all that good.
you think they're in league with them?
No, I just said being they're incompetent,
No, I'm
sort
not.
of.
I agree with that completely.
That might be slightly my fault a little bit.
You've made them a little complacent. They're just like, Super's gonna get it. Some monkey guy's gonna get him.
Well, I do truss up people and just leave them in front of the department sometimes.
Yeah.
Perhaps relax a little bit on the vigilante justice and make them perform their duties.
Hmm. Well, now that I found you all, I don't really have to do it all that much anymore.
We'll do it together.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Not the vigilantism, the beating up the whole Alpha Dog thing together as a group.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'm okay with that.
All right. So how are y'all splitting up again?
All right.
Robert and Connor are going to do patrols while Connor decides to take to the rooftops and enjoy the scenery. Robert will be in his truck riding around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the other three are going to.
The
The-
library.
Hooray.
Mhm.
All right. As you may see on your map, and as viewers can see,
Mm-hmm.
I've got 3 spots kind of pegged.
Okay.
The purple one up here, that is the Rubicon. The red one down here is the University of Nebraska Olympus.
Uh-huh.
And then that is the Palatine, which is the biggest hill in town, which
Mhm.
is not saying much. Nebraska has a reputation for being,
Flat.
flat.
Mm-hmm.
But on the top of the Palatine, there is a reconstruction of the temple to Apollo Palatinus? A temple of Apollo that was on the actual Palatine Hill in Rome, built by like Augustus.
Mm-hmm.
God, they're trying too hard at this time.
They are trying a little hard, or at least they were when the city was founded.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a
Yeah.
full size replica. It's kind of like the Parthenon in Nashville. It's a big building, but it is scaled down compared to the
Yeah.
the
They
actual
have a
temple.
replica of the Parthenon in Nashville.
It's
Yep.
amazing.
It is. It is awesome.
Why?
Why not?
That's weird.
I know, but it's so cool.
I mean,
I mean, I've been
they've
there a
got
couple
the
times.
statue of Athena, or of Athena inside it.
They even, I think they repainted it to be how it would have been painted.
Possibly, I have not been there since like my senior year. It was all white then, but huge doors, and the security guys weren't watching very closely, so you could swing the big doors back and forth. So I've heard. But
So he's heard.
it's been over 7 years. I don't really got anything to worry about. Even if I had broken something.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I like that term. Anyway, the library is at the base of the hill. As well as a few of the city government buildings.
Mm-hmm.
The city hall is actually kind of like halfway up the hill. Oh, we lost somebody.
Who'd we lose?
Deco, why? Come back, my boy.
Can you guys still hear me?
I
Mhm.
still
I
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
We just lost you in
Yeah,
Zoom,
it's-
so
Memory leaks, y'all. Don't get them.
Oh God, we're so distorted in the.
Yes, we're terribly
Duh.
distorted. And I think we've lost him out of the Discord now.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw the transition. No.
Here.
Wow, that is disorienting because I see a bit of Sarah above Jason, and then she's a bit above me. This is this is
like like Eric's head's under Jason's, but the rest of his body's above your head.
It's
yeah.
fine. I'll just do the rest of it like this. It's fine.
Give Zoom a sec. It'll kick me out of the program here and jump back in.
It's all good, dude.
I mean, you're perfectly fine, buddy. Well, I say that, but that is, of course, to storyteller's transgression.
And while we're waiting for stuff, do we want to do one
Ha!
of the two?
You what now?
Never mind. I heard a Haas. Aha,
Mhm.
sounded triumphant.
Please check a network. Try again. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess if you want, you can recall me on Zoom because what it usually does is it kicks me out and then jumps me back in, but it did not. So
We'll give it a try.
yeah.
Yes, hello.
We're trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
I hate that.
All right, I think we're all good now.
Woo!
No,
Apologies.
you're
It's all good,
mistaken. We're not going for the warranty. We're actually here about your student loans.
Oh no. My student loans in the college I never went to.
I know, right?
I've never had student loans, and they call me all the time. It's like, yes, the student loan forgiveness program. It's like, I've never had one. Piss off. Try
Mhm.
someone else.
That's why you just don't. That's why you just don't answer the numbers. Oh, I don't know that number. I don't answer it. If they actually know me,
No.
they'll leave a message.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or if
No,
it's
that's the-
important, they'll leave a voicemail.
Hmm
Or I just sit there and I Google the number while it's calling. It's like, who are you?
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
No, but
That's
that's
what
the
I do.
problem is I generally ignore them. But it's the same number that'll call like 5 times in a day, and I just like the 5th time I answer like, "What? What do you want from me?" Yes, we're calling about your student loans. I don't have any. Click.
All right.
Back to what we were doing.
Focus. All right.
Mhm.
So 3 of you are going to the library, and 2 of you are going over to the where the frat house was.
Mhm.
All right. We'll handle the frat house first. Y'all swing by there. You get there. There's a house at the address. A decent sized house. It's in a pretty, decent neighborhood.
Mhm.
Relatively close to the college.
Yeah.
Nothing about it stands out compared to any of the other houses in the neighborhood. It's clearly not burned down anymore. Or I should say they've clearly rebuilt in this location.
Mhm.
There is one car in the driveway. You got the address, the name. You got, actually, you've just got the house number on the mailbox.
Would probably like pull off a little bit, just enough to where he can probably go check the license plate. At least nothing else. Just kind of write it down real quick.
Okay.
Go back to it.
Not hard to spot.
Yeah, probably sit down, maybe Google, see if he can get any information.
Well, Googling the license plate wouldn't do him any good. That kind of information isn't readily available.
Yeah. Of anything,
Now,
he
you
would,
could poke around some less reputable sorts of places and see if you could find something on the license plate.
he may consider it, but he'll at least be like, well, at least I got the vehicle's number, so we're just gonna keep that. And he'll just kind of, fold the note up, and put it in his pocket, and be like, I'll check in that later. Just kind of, maybe, probably just kind of stay parked a little bit, just kind of stake the place out, try to be inconspicuous. Use his little contractor truck to maybe, look like he's just kind of scouting out a job, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, your contractor truck doesn't stick out too bad in the neighborhood. I mean, it's not the sort of truck anybody in the neighborhood would have. But as far as seeing one parked on the side of the street, that's not unusual. Connor, you were going rooftop to rooftop?
Yeah.
Okay. You land on the roof next door. Are you just going to stake the place out like Duba's doing? Do a little breaking and entering? What do you do?
If there's nobody there,
Well, there is one car in the driveway.
One car in the driveway. No, yeah, he'll leave it alone then. Once Duba's character leaves, like drives off, Connor will like unseat, like if there's a loose brick, we'll unseat that off the roof that he's on and just chuck it at the window and then just disappear.
Yeah, you managed to find one.
Hmm?
I said you managed to find something.
Okay.
So a loose brick, not in the wall, but in it, it's got, this house has got like a fake chimney basically coming out the top.
Mm.
And you managed to find one of them that wasn't. It was a little bit loose, and then you kind of snap it the rest of the way off.
Just casually yeet. He doesn't even care if he hits, and then he's just other side of the chimney, then down, and then he's gonna just go on foot.
All right, where is he going on foot?
He's gonna follow where Duba's truck went, and he'll just catch up to the truck and just climb in.
Okay. He was, I believe, Duba, you said Robert was staking the place out, so he probably just pulled a couple of houses down.
He probably just pulled like a couple houses down just to be inconspicuous, make it look like he was just staking out a job, or like pulled up to a place where he would get some info for a job.
Okay. So y'all sit there for a little bit. Maybe 10 minutes later, a police car pulls up to the house. A woman steps out of the house, starts talking to the police officers, and she's gesturing. And, she takes them around to the side where the now busted window is. One of them starts kind of looking around outside. The other one comes inside with her, presumably to look at the damage to the inside. Woman looked to be 40, 45. Definitely does not look like a frat boy.
Fair.
Okay. Connor just looks and just shrugs, like, well, now we know.
No remorse about
Yeah.
ruining this woman's day at all.
You do realize that she is not going to question that someone is out for her, right? Or at least trying to harass her.
But we know they're not here now.
Fair.
Besides, it's not like I did any real permanent damage to anybody. It was just a window.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And double point. The alpha bitches have been around on the news for a while. So, and there's reports of them chucking bricks at things.
I mean, fair. They'll get pinned for this, so
Exactly.
He kind of holds a fist up, like, "Good for you."
Yes.
Still, though,
What?
we could have looked at this a different way, but I'll accept it.
Yeah.
All right, so do y'all keep taking the place out, or?
Well, once like about 1:30 hits, Connor's gonna jet.
I mean, Robert would have asked him, like, "You got anything previous you need to do, or you got somewhere you need to be?"
Yeah, just some prior arrangements.
Hey, sure, give me general direction. I'll at least get you closer.
That way.
Okay. Puts in drive, takes him that way.
You turn around in one of the neighbor's driveways. You head on by. As you're passing the house, you see the police officer coming out with the brick in a plastic bag.
The one time the police officers are going to be competent.
Yep.
Let's go fingerprint this brick.
Robert shaking his head as he drives by. It's like, well, at least he's doing his job properly.
The CSI effect. There's a whole slow zoom on the brick as it goes through the window.
Mhm.
Enhance.
But yeah, no, Robert's fully expecting Connor at any point in time just be like, well, I'm out. Yeet!
No, yeah, he will.
Like Robert's expecting this at this point. He's like, all right, this is a bit of a chaos person. Okay, cool.
Okay, we're in the right neighborhood, and then suddenly just out the window, dive roll on the sidewalk.
Actually,
right
yeah,
in front of startled pedestrians.
that is legitimately how he gets out. Actually,
Tuck and roll.
and then just takes a jog.
At that point, Robert would have slowed down to a stop and leaned out like, "Oi, you could have just said stop."
But this was more fun.
Bye.
All right, the
He
rest
would-
of you drive to the library at the Palatine.
Or catch an Uber.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of the three of us have a vehicle.
There
No,
is
I
this
don't think
vehicle.
so.
What do you mean?
Oh, hell.
What was that?
Mine Hilarious
Decker?
is-
Like Telarius absolutely has a vehicle.
Oh, okay.
They don't use it, but they have one.
It's a Vespa, right? Loads up on it.
Yeah. Exactly. Cling cling.
So anyway, y'all get to the library. What is it y'all are wanting to research exactly?
I assume older news clippings of like back when the fraternity was in its heyday.
Okay.
Any
If some
names?
fuck shit happened.
Any names that would pop up consistently with it.
Hmm.
If there was any supernatural elements to it. Or supernatural elements that may have been like tied in with them.
Not really. Your research turns up. You find things like the Alpha Delta Omega made a list of like the top few party frats basically in Nebraska. Was not a very long list, but
It was 2.
but they make up that. There's an article on when they got started. And then almost immediately, you start having these little articles of members getting in trouble. Apparently, they repeatedly had problems with hazing at the college, or at the fraternity, despite the college trying to crack down on it. It was a combination of, there was a accident when they were hazing somebody. There was a death. When the police showed up, they also found a lot of underage drinking at the party. And that was what got the school to basically kick them out. A couple weeks later, they were throwing a big party at the house because the house was not on school property. So it got too rowdy. The neighbors called the police. The police show up. There was some kind of resisting arrest sort of thing. Some kind of fight broke out. The house got on fire. James Dorrance was thought to have been trapped in the house. Never found a body. Several other people were arrested. 2 more of the, I guess, high-ranking, if you will, members. A Grayson Lambton and a Robert Briggs. One of the articles refers to him as Robert Bad Bob Briggs. There's a few other articles on him getting in trouble up kind of earlier in your research.
Is there... Okay.
So neither one of them ended up doing any jail time. They're both from influential families.
Figures.
And the worst of the offenses basically got pinned on Dorrance. Scapegoat the dead guy,
Because he's dead.
Yeah.
And you said their names were what again?
Grayson Lambton and Robert Bad Bob Briggs.
Bad
Bad
Bob.
Bad Bob.
Guess that's his nickname.
Yeah.
Briggs.
Well, Bob is
With
usually
two-
a nickname for Robert, so
2 G's or 1?
2 G's. And you find pictures of them. Grayson's a slender, pretty good looking fellow. Bob was a slab of meat, just almost as broad as he was tall, and he was fairly tall.
Does he have any resemblance to either of the people that Sasha took a picture of at the fire?
Other than being a big guy like that other guy was, no.
Okay. Also, does it say if they did they ever say how the fire was started? 'Cause, I mean, just random fire breaking out.
None of the news articles seem to bring that up.
Interesting.
We've already got a cover up.
Yeah.
So here's my theory.
Mm-hmm.
The fire was probably started by the same one that started the fire at the Dean's. This
Solid
James
theory.
Dorrance. But it I don't believe it is divine in nature. Like he has a tie or a parent that would be a god.
I think it's just an asshole with gasoline.
I don't know. I
Or
don't
do you think he was chosen this go around, if not last time?
but to have that I don't know to have that kind of power would be I don't believe that their parent would allow their parent or their patron or their benefactor or whatever you want to call it would allow them to just be some asshole frat boy.
Eh.
Depends on the parent?
I could totally see
Potentially.
Hercules letting his kid be a frat boy.
Yeah, exactly.
But Hercules, you wouldn't have firepower probably.
No, probably not.
No, but I mean, it all depends though, because every mythology, every history, you had the assholes.
Yes, but
It could have been one that didn't mind a little destruction, and that's why this frat was the way it was back in the day.
As our heart sings in the chaos.
out of question or out of character question,
Mhm.
would they know about the Titans and all that?
Any of you that have had your visitation,
That's all of us at this point.
they would have mentioned the Titans. Though I
Okay.
don't remember if Amor actually brought it up to Talarius or not. Other than he could draw unwanted attention, so I guess Amor would or Talarius would know there's somebody out there that you don't want paying attention to you.
Right.
Perhaps they were less blessed by gods and more blessed by the Titans.
I mean, that could be a thing.
You can call that a blessing.
Some would say being blessed by the gods is no blessing either.
Still working that out.
You will be for a while.
As y'all are having this conversation at one of the library tables, there was someone reading at the table next to you. Who gets up, closes her book up as she's walking past y'all to presumably go put the book back up. She just sort of glances at you as she walks by. There's really no difference between the gods and the Titans, right? And then just keeps on walking.
Why would you just say that and leave?
Rude.
Unless she knows something.
Why should we follow her, or that seems
Probably just some weird historian.
philosophy major, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the type of person that would do that. The puts their finger up in their glasses, like, actually,
Let me tell you my mythology, actually.
Well, she was wearing
Well,
glasses, but she didn't actually push them up when she said that.
well, while they're discussing that, Jaden's gonna go follow her and be like, and why would you say that?
Why would you be listening to our conversation to begin with?
You're talking in a library. It's hard not to hear you.
No,
you got
no, no, no,
that's
no.
fair.
Oh, really?
No,
Jaden's
that
the
was
only
me
one
out
that
of
followed her.
character.
Yeah.
Jaden's the only one that followed. So what does Jaden ask her?
And why would you say there would be no difference between the two?
She goes, they're not. They're the same thing.
Are they truly?
It's like, well, she puts her book up. It's like saying, it's like if you refer to, say, a Democrat as human and a Republican as something else. Well, no, they're the same thing. They're people. Now, you want to talk about it being a political division? That's probably would probably be a better way to put it. She's like, it's a pet peeve of mine. People make a big deal like there's some big difference.
But there could be a big difference.
It's a difference of the conflict between them is a difference of opinion between them. That's all. At the human level, they're all just assholes.
I mean, you're not wrong about that. But at the higher level, it just could be something totally different than what we think it would be.
Well, look, we'll take Zeus. Zeus is a god. Ooh. Well, then what was his daddy? We call him a titan. But like begets like. It ain't like they didn't both swallow people to, avoid their heirs killing them.
Not wrong. But after Athena, he kind of stopped swallowing his children.
Yeah, I wonder why she never killed him. It's like she was kind of destined to.
Maybe she just loves her father a bit too much.
Well, that kind of
Or she
disputes the
just-
whole goddess of wisdom thing, then.
I mean, she just knows not to kill him. Maybe she knows he's important. I mean, one of his favorites.
I don't know.
That's right. It is
I wasn't
fucking
trying to
philosophy
eavesdrop
student.
on y'all or nothing. I just, overheard.
It's just nice to have somebody else's view on things.
But, what's got y'all researching that frat? What's that frat got to do with gods?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Does the girl have like a notebook on her or something?
She's got like a little satchel that might have something in there.
She's like, do you have paper on you?
Oh, sure. She pulls out a notebook.
She'll write down her number with her name. If you ever want to talk about this some more, here's my number.
Ma'am, are you coming on to me?
Eyebrow waggles.
Oh, sure. I'll keep that in mind. Tucks the number back in there.
And
She's looking at you like she's not really sure what that was about, but okay.
if she had any more input, because somebody who just randomly put their input in, why not? And then she'll just turn around and head back to the group.
Philosophy major, right? Philosophy major.
I didn't ask her major, but she's
Did you write
curious.
Did Jaden write her name down with the number?
Yeah, yeah, she did.
Okay.
Um,
Gonna Google your ass when she gets home.
it wouldn't be that hard to find. She's been on the news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, she's just seeing everything as somebody who doesn't know what's going on. Everybody's all the same, more or less, with her. So probably philosophy.
Y'all probably didn't hear that.
I
The
just-
recording would have.
It's
Okay.
kind of
Her too.
Do it now.
just fix it and post. It's fine.
Oh no, I was trying to grab something and it was giving me that little error bean that Windows does.
We know.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes people just like to talk. They just want to put their fingers to their bridge of their nose, like, actually.
I mean, the way she tried to describe it to me is how we see Democrats and Republicans different, but they're all the same. And that's how she's seeing the gods and titans.
That might be how Talarius thinks for a second. Humans? I guess we're not human anymore. They're speaking a little more hushed when they say this. Like, I guess we're not
No.
human anymore,
I mean,
or we never were.
we have more knowledge than they do, of course.
Anyway, the point is, there's a way the mundane perceive deities, and I guess there's a way that we do, with a more direct approach to them. I mean, you've seen Connor just fucking uses staff to like go pole vaulting.
But you can put, as a human, you can put that off as he's had years training using a pole arm and he does parkour.
Yes, but the staff itself is magic.
The staff is probably pinned to his like a lapel right now.
Yeah, I mean, but humans aren't going to notice that. Not really.
They're going
Humans
to
aren't
notice
gonna
when he launches from the pavement to the roof.
when he uses it like a clicker pen, and all of a sudden it's the size of a house.
We need to speak to him about that.
I don't believe it would do any good.
Not what.
Behold the chaos monkey child.
Okay.
Monkey.
Do the monkey.
Yes, you rang.
Why do I see the group sitting down and have a conversation with Connor about how he needs to keep stuff a secret?
Not even just a secret. Just don't click it for no reason.
We need you to not tell the mortals about us.
Just across the room, just knocking stuff off the table, just because he can.
Yeah.
So he's essentially a cat, but monkey.
Yes.
Well, monkeys also have the tendency to like push stuff off of tables.
Have you
If
not
they
seen the
exist
monkey
around
with the
tables.
computer?
Yeah, exactly.
Shove.
But I think we've gotten everything we need here.
Yes.
Is there I guess not a record of them being divine, like in the research that we've done, is there a record of anybody who like there's names that keep popping up. Is there a record of these people ever doing any kind of time? Nothing? Not even like in the college, but after?
the two other guys.
Yeah.
Some of the
Yeah, if
other
we could-
folks arrested did some time. Some of the just rank and file members that
Sure.
punched a police officer or something. But as far as Briggs or Lambton,
Like even for stuff like unrelated, like a speeding ticket or something.
What happened to them before and after all of this?
before Lambton had a clean record. Other than one incident of like underage drinking when he was in high school, something.
Sure. Go figure.
Briggs had been in a few fights coming up through school. Even up in college, prior to that incident. Afterwards, there's like one public disturbance where him and a guy got into it at a bar. That it didn't become an actual fist fight, but the police did end up getting called and kind of, having to send them both home or whatever, or take them in and process
Chill
them.
out
But there
in the
wasn't
ice-
any like
Chill out in the icebox for a little bit.
yeah, but there wasn't any actual charges pressed, after the fact.
Sure.
And nothing else afterwards. Like, can we find like where they moved to, maybe, or if they've been in the papers, or
Let's see.
Married, single, anything?
I guess
They-
that's a good
did
question.
they
Have they come
start
up
a
in the news
company we
recently?
knew nothing about?
Sure.
All right, let's see. They both wound up graduating from college.
Mhm.
They're both still here in town. Lambton is a like a hedge fund manager now.
Ew. How topical.
Would you like to buy some GameStop stocks?
No, but I would like to know what the next thing they were going to buy was going to be.
Let me know now.
Good.
Right, so I could put some stocks into that bad boy and make some money and destroy the rich. Eat the rich. And what
Yeah,
about
but unlike the
Briggs?
rest, when actually we could be millionaires, but like, yep, we're selling.
Mm.
Get me a bitchin' game computer.
Briggs has popped up kind of in high society. Going to functions. He's technically like a vice president at his father's company.
Ugh. Don't know which one's worse now. The hedge
But
fund, the vice,
it's
or the nepotism.
you
Both.
even the newspaper articles kind of give the impression that he's really more of a trust fund baby.
Yeah.
That technically has a position at the company. Yeah, it's shocking, I know.
It's like some shitty advisory role that just he makes figures off of doing nothing.
Tell us how this would work as a meme.
But so both of them are still in the town. You do find that Briggs's parents live over in close to that same neighborhood as the dean.
Hmm. Interesting.
You don't
I
get like
assume
a
we're,
street
like-
address for them, but it mentions that.
Sure, it's
that
just
kinda
in the area.
The hoity-toity area.
I
The wedges.
I assume we're like taking pictures of the stuff that we're getting and we're like putting it into group chat.
Oh, yeah, like Sasha's definitely like making sure they have a photocopy at least of everything, if not a
Mhm.
digital copy. Anything they look at, she's getting a copy, and then someone will have Hilarious digitize it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Here are these papers.
Well, now most of these articles you're pulling up on one of the library computers, so
Yeah,
likely as not you could save it in some format.
yeah.
Just have a thumb drive on him.
I mean, I'm old enough that when y'all first started doing this, I was picturing the old
The machines,
the old
with the slide.
microfile,
Yeah.
whatever you call them. But I don't think
Punch
any
cards?
library uses those anymore. What's that?
No, not the punch
Punch cards?
No, the
No,
microfilm.
Yes.
Oh.
You had the little bitty thing, and it would just have like the entire newspaper, 100 pages or whatever, on the one little something.
Jesus.
And you'd
That's
slide
a-
it into
that
the
is slightly
machine, and
bef-
you'd slide the thing around. It would just magnify it.
that is slightly before my time.
I can remember even the Decatur Library had 4 or 5 of those machines in a row you could sit down.
um.
But anyway, however you
Yeah.
have to make your copies, you get your copies.
Yeah, we get our copies of it, and then well, and then digitize it. They're just on a thumb drive, just in case. And look around and just look at the two of them and be like, I think we're done here. Should we make sure the boys haven't, fought off an entire army of frat boys?
I would hope they would text us, but
Let's go. Yeah.
as they're walking, how are you doing with all of this?
I don't know. It's been what, 2 days? I still don't know. It's a lot to take in. I have a test to find out if I'm worthy, even though he's the one that boinked my mother.
This way.
I mean, at least he's your father and not Zeus.
One, you have us for assistance.
Sure.
So it's kind of like having an open book test. You have at least 3 people capable of physical violence if need be.
I mean, and we're kind of related.
You have a cousin. And 2, you were created with love.
Was I?
I mean, he is.
Did you say you was fond of
The-
your mother?
The fondness of my mother could mean a lot of things.
Yes, but Eos is a child of Aphrodite, who is the goddess
Not-
of love.
Not even that.
So, I
It's not a
mean, all
mistake.
he truly does feel is love. I don't think he would go sleeping around if he didn't, on some level, love a person. He could have loved your mother. Probably still does, in some form or aspect. Don't question it. It won't be a good road for you if you question that. Just know he does love you. Your mother loves you.
When Jaden says he may have loved your mother, there's
Uh-huh.
a slight crash over to one side. When
Uh-huh.
y'all looked over, there was this little porcelain butterfly that had been on the wall when y'all came in. There's actually several scattered through the library. It's just one part of the decoration.
Sure.
About the time she said that, one of them just fell off the wall and shattered.
I don't know what
I don't
kind
know
of
about
omen that is.
I don't know about that anymore.
Even beyond all of that, you were created on purpose. And if that doesn't work for you, fuck both of them, live your own life.
See what I can do. On the way out, Clarice will call their mother.
Awkward conversation time.
Hey, baby, how are you doing?
I met Dad.
You hear her phone hit the ground.
I don't Are you doing this while we're all like still there?
Yeah, we're all still walking.
Sasha,
Uh,
like, I don't think you should have led with that.
She you hear the phone scratching around and she reaches down and picks it up. Oh, that's huh. Well, I was going to ask you why you haven't put anything up in the last day or so. I guess you might have some things to think about. What exactly did your father tell you?
The child of a love god. I don't know how to feel about that. It's weird.
Well, it could be worse. Could have been a war
Could
god,
it?
or well, sure, could have been a war god, or trying to think of what other sort of god she wouldn't care for, but war god's about it.
Not the god of death?
Oh, that's a good point.
Everyone loves Hades. What do you mean?
He's the
Yeah.
god of the underworld. Thanatos is
Yeah.
god of
Thanatos is
death.
the
Sure,
god of the dead.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's a
semantic.
difference.
Beat me up in the comments on YouTube, guys.
I don't control the die.
They're just like, it's just been a lot to process, and I have a test to prove if I'm worthy. What is that even about?
I don't really know.
And-
Probably to see if he should help you out. What do you know about the shoot, I'm like Lord now. Oh, what did they call that? The Titan Mancy? Titan something? Yeah, Titanoman. Gotta learn to pronounce these things. Anyway, she uses the word that refers to the war with the Titans.
Mhm. Nothing.
I'd spend a little time googling it.
Okay.
Because even back when he was with me, he mentioned that it was becoming more active again.
Wasn't that like 20 years ago?
Yeah, well, if you're immortal, 20 years probably isn't that much.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm just in my 40s, and 20 years doesn't seem that long ago anymore.
Well, thanks for hearing me, I guess.
Oh, of course.
Sorry to just throw that on you at once.
Well, yeah, try not
You
to
probably
do that.
had to
As I
know
get
it was
older,
gonna
try not
happen.
to do that.
You'll see me on the
if,
news
if,
at some
if you,
point.
if you need to come by and talk, talk about anything, I'm here.
I appreciate it, Mom.
Oh yeah. Did your father mention me?
Yeah,
That was a long hesitation there, kiddo.
it was like it was a mention, and then he said he knew you biblically, and I almost gagged.
Well, but you kind of now, hun, you already knew that had to be the case.
Well, it's not that I want to think about it.
That's fair. How'd he look?
He showed me a picture of when you two were together, and I guess the answer is exactly the same.
What picture did he show you?
I described the picture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were at the diner. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a fine picture. I think I've got a copy of it around here somewhere.
Mom?
Hmm?
Okay. Good to know that you have pictures that I need to not open like a landmine when I visit next time.
Well, it's not like I've got any of them around here now.
I
And none
don't
of them
know
ever got
that.
put on the internet, so I don't think you've got anything to worry about.
If I get canceled, the next time it's going to be that.
Uh, but anyway, honey, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Whatever this test is, do be careful and give some serious thought to turning your father down. There's nothing wrong with living just a normal life.
I mean, is it normal if all of my grace and charm is divine in nature?
Honey, there's plenty of divine beings that have no grace or charm.
Well, yeah, but you shacked up with a Moor, so that's already. That ship sailed.
Just, if he pushes that you have some kind of destiny, just keep in mind that you have choice, you have free will. She's like, oh, what's the quote I'm wanting? You have no destiny but that which you make.
That was profound.
Yeah, I got it from a Terminator movie.
I'll talk to you later, Mom. Thank you.
Those are really good movies.
Click. Yeah, they just kind of keep walking after like I assume with the weirdest one-sided conversation ever here with these two.
You sound like you need ice cream.
Yeah, I think we should check up on the others first before we do that though.
Jaden's gonna message Robert. Where are you guys?
He would respond, um, on my way back, Connor has decided to go his own way? Question mark?
Oh, I hate that.
Are we all like looking over her shoulder while she's typing this? Like, what's going on?
Uh-huh.
And where did he go?
He didn't say. I asked him if he had any previous plans. He gave me direction and I drove him there before he jumped out of my truck.
And what direction was that?
I don't know. I believe towards a news station.
Oh no.
Did Monkey Man get an interview? Specifically told them not to. God dang it.
Gentle pat pats.
Let's go with the new regular swear. Gods, dang it.
Yeah.
Connor.
And-
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're still. Yeah, on the phone.
And then she's gonna message Connor. Are you doing an interview?
No answer.
Sorry, I'm busy doing an interview.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm busy doing an interview.
Oh no.
So Connor, you're busy doing an interview. Your phone is currently turned off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
as he said that, like as he was walking in the door, and then turned it off.
You are introduced to Soledad Depolito, Depolito.
Not a great news name.
Heck of a name. All right.
When you get a chance, just put that in the Discord because I'm not even going to take a stab at that.
Yeah. DM's revenge for Deca.
For,
I was about to say,
Well,
yeah,
Solid
of course.
Motto.
I'll just make worse ones. It's fine.
Something undulate.
La Soledad de Polito. Wow. Alrighty. Gazoon tight.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's one of the local, one of the local like news anchors.
Mm-hmm.
She's tall enough to look Connor in the eye, though she's in heels and Connor's in flats.
Yeah.
But no, but she walks up, she shakes her hand. She's really glad you're here. Glad you accepted the interview.
Mhm.
They've been wanting to talk. They've been wanting to talk to you for a few days. Since that initial little fight you got into.
So he'll pause and just take a moment and just go. It is a pleasure to meet you. Sorry, I've been rather busy, as you can understand.
Oh, I understand completely. Let's get you into makeup right quick.
Oh, of course.
So pat you down with the stuff so you don't glisten too much in the studio lights.
Him being child of Wukong, loving it. Because that is one of Wukong's purviews, actually. His artistry.
Ah. So you just hop down. You just hop in the chair, powder me.
Not quite that. He's him doing like that sort of thing across his face is sort of how he sort of flips his mentality. He essentially lives in yang mode, and he slipped to yin now.
More calm and more orderly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
He knows when to use yin.
Hmm.
He prefers to stay in yang.
but Soledad tells you, now.
Soledad.
Pardon.
Sorry, just Soledad.
Soledad.
There's an E in the middle. Soledad.
Yeah, I know.
Soledad.
Yeah, Soledad is probably how it's pronounced.
More than likely.
Probably, but at some point I'm just gonna say Soledad just because I've been given the opportunity.
But she tells you, don't worry, we're not filming this live. We're filming this as a segment that we put in to the evening news.
I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
Oh, yeah, she should be in the 6 o'clock news. Probably as part of the main story. Discussing what has gone on with the fire at the Dean's house, and then segue into the interview with you. So she takes she takes you to this little stage, where it's like kind of two little couches or whatever.
Yeah.
When they start filming, she goes into the kind of, she looks at the camera, tells them she's here with Connor Hughes, local martial arts instructor. Explains that you were in, let's see, I guess the fire makes the third altercation you've been in as many days.
Yeah, actually it has.
Because you had the fight out at that one house.
Mm-hmm.
Then they attacked the dojo.
The dojo. Yeah. And
then that night you helped out at the fire.
Yep.
So she asked you how you found out about the alpha dogs at the house.
Well, honestly, in truth, I wasn't even aware that it was them. I ran across an elderly couple that were being extorted as a sort of protection racket.
Oh, okay. So we have had there's been several reports to the police about that sort of activity.
Mhm.
Now, when you confronted them that night, though, you had a group of friends with you.
there are acquaintances then, others that have been wronged by them. As athletic as I am, it's nice to have help.
Well, sure, numbers can make up all the difference.
Absolutely.
Now, there's been a lot of talk online of your group had some animals with them, but they never seem to be a good shot of the animals.
I never really got a good look at them either that night. Haven't really seen them since.
Yeah, so they weren't your pets.
No, they're not mine.
Oh, okay. And she goes on to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. And he'll joke as my grandfather would say, I can barely be trusted to take care of myself some days.
She smiles. I know what you're talking about there. But she talks about the incident at the dojo. What was your initial reaction when that vehicle came smashing through the window?
Honestly, I had to evade them. They were waiting outside the front of the dojo, so I took the back route that morning. Honestly, my first thought was, this is somebody who is a danger to not only myself and my family, but the students under my charge. So I moved to incapacitate the driver as swiftly as possible. If only to
Okay.
prevent any further damage and potential loss of life.
She goes, yes, you did. Your dojo did have a children's class in session at the time, didn't it?
I was teaching them, actually. I take my duties as an instructor very seriously.
Now, you were not the only person that suffered an assault that day, though.
I had heard.
Some of your friends or acquaintances also had the alpha dogs kind of track them down.
That would be, for any specifics of that'd be more of a question for them. All I can say is that several were attacked in retaliation for us breaking up their extortion racket.
Yeah, they've come into town acting a lot more like a gang than a fraternity.
Yes, I did do some digging. I'd read the reports of what they were before. I do trust and hope that the police department will be as thorough now as they were then, breaking them up.
Oh, no doubt. I've actually spoken with the police chief, and
That's good.
they seem very eager to shut these guys down before they can really take root.
Of course.
You may have heard there was an incident, and she rattles off the address. That the police are pretty sure it was two gangs fighting. Quite possibly the Alpha Dogs. At least they were. The location was kind of adjacent to the area we know the Alpha Dogs are operating in. So they may be coming into conflict with other gangs in the area.
I hadn't heard any specifics, but would you mind telling me where that is so I know what to avoid?
She basically goes, ask me after the interview. We'll get you that.
Of course.
Because y'all are recording this, so she can edit that part out.
Fix it in post.
Yeah. But let's see. She brings up Jaden, being assaulted. Not by name, but by that incident.
Right.
Robert's incident, I don't think anybody would know about because I don't think Robert reported it.
No, Robert didn't really report it, mainly because he just tried to scare them off from his job site.
Now, the police did show up because there was some gunfire, I think, and Robert kind of talked to him.
Yeah. He would have told him that he was just trying to scare him off in self-defense. That he didn't actually harm anybody.
Yeah, so she does not bring Robert's incident up. So Connor, does it? Does it? She hesitates. I don't want to.
Yes.
Does it concern you that they're clearly looking for you?
A little. I mean, anyone would be concerned that a gang that has a propensity for violence is searching them out. But at the same time, that's kind of the world that I know. I was born when the city was still building after the chaos that happened from its original destruction. So my childhood was very much the chaos of the slums, gangs and violence, that kind of a thing. Grew up a fighter, so I know my way around things like this. Anyone would be scared that it's happening, or at least fearful. But if you ever talk to my grandfather, as much as a child of chaos that I used to be, that he tried to groom me out of, I very much prefer the order of a peaceful city. That's part and parcel why I do what I do, or what I have been doing, is I want to do my part to bring that order back to the city.
So you see the alpha dogs as upsetting order,
Yes.
kind of bringing in
Precisely.
lawlessness or chaos, as you keep saying.
Mhm.
That's admirable. Had your family? Well, you said you were born while the city was being built, so
Mhm.
she eventually moves over to the question of the fire.
That
Now we
that
have
was
some footage here. She plays some of that cell phone footage that you've already seen.
mhm.
Now, what was it that had you in the area where the fire took place?
Well, would you like the fanciful answer or the truthful one?
I think my viewers would want the truth.
Of course. Truth is curiosity. We saw a large group of police vehicles moving at high speeds past us, my friends and I, down the road. So we got curious to see what was happening, what was going on. And we just came across the fire.
And you decided to immediately leap to the aid of.
I don't really think sometimes before I act. Sometimes my body moves before my brain has a chance to catch up. But I saw a lot of people standing around. Granted, the fire department was doing everything they could. My natural athleticism, to my brain, it means I could move slightly faster.
Well, the reports I've seen, if you had waited for the fire department to get in there, Mrs. Shoot, Mrs. the Dean, I guess. I don't know what her name was. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Anyway, yeah, she might very well have died from smoke inhalation, and even the dean, I'm sure, would have been much worse off. So it's very good for them that you got there. But speaking of you getting them out, and they play some more of the footage of you popping the staff and sliding down.
Ah, that.
She's like, yes, that. What was that?
That is a collapsible staff given to me by my father. It helps me with my athletics and acrobatics.
Well, now I've seen collapsible staffs on the internet where people will have them palmed and they'll pop out and they'll do their little routine with it. But those things aren't sturdy. You can't use them like you use that. And that thing popped out to a story tall, and then you slid down it.
Well, he made it himself. If you ever get a chance to ask him if I could ever find him again, I could certainly ask the question for you.
What was your father's name?
I don't know. He just showed up one day and handed it to me, and then left.
that's fascinating. Must have been rough showing up, growing up with a absentee father.
Well, absentee mother too. I was raised by my grandfather.
Oh yes, you'd mentioned your grandfather.
I suppose my thought, I mean, while I do kind of resent it a little bit, I do believe that maybe he saw that I was being raised well by my grandfather and didn't want to interfere in that.
Well, that's probably a good way to look at it. I guess noble of your father if he knew he wasn't in a position to raise you well.
I couldn't say.
Hmm.
I just try to look on the bright side of it.
Well, oh, you mentioned you were with friends when you saw the police drive by.
Mhm.
Would that be your friends from the previous encounter, or your acquaintances from the previous encounter?
Well, I'd like to think I consider them friends now, certainly. Uh, but yes, we were just getting a drink together and just talking about the chaos we happened to inadvertently get ourselves caught up into.
Now, one of your friends is Talarius
Moriad.
Moriad,
Yes.
who is something of a YouTube sensation here in Olympus.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you aren't known online as well, but now the footage isn't as good. But was that him standing with you, speaking with the dean?
Yes, I believe he had some business there. I wasn't entirely sure. Maybe he knew the dean. I'll have to ask.
Okay.
He seemed to know him. Brought him some medicine, I believe.
Oh, it was nice of him. Seems odd that he didn't film any of it. After all, he was the source of the footage for your initial fight.
Well, it could have been just the chaos of the moment. None of it was planned. The night of that fire, we just happened to be there.
Mm.
Right place, right time.
I don't suppose you saw anybody else leaving the house. The dean brought up the name James Dorrance, who had been assumed dead years ago.
Well, people assume my father was dead too, so.
Fair enough.
I didn't see anybody, no.
Well, the firefighters were already on hand, so
Yes.
the arsonist may have already slipped away.
Yeah, it's possible. I do hope that it might speculation on my part, of course, that the Alpha Dogs haven't decided to graduate up to arson and murder.
It would
Or
seem that Mr.
attempted.
Dorrance was trying it.
Yes.
So do you and your friends plan to continue pressing this engagement against the Alpha Dogs?
I don't know. I mean, they were a direct threat to me and mine, so I acted in self-defense. If they continue to be a threat to me and mine, and they continue to come after me, I mean, I'll have to fight them, of course,
Mm-hmm.
in order to protect myself and others. Will I actively go out and antagonize them? I'm not sure.
So you're thinking about it.
Well, it's possible. I mean, anybody thinks about anything.
Oh, of course.
The difference is if they decide to act upon those thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So there have been reports, speaking about going out and instigating or antagonizing, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
There have been reports in the neighborhood close to the dojo you work at.
Yes.
She rattles off the name of the dojo. What was it? What's the name of the dojo?
Toby
Did we
Zaru.
ever-
I'm sorry, what?
Toby Zaru.
That's right. That's right. There have been reports of local toughs being sort of rousted and hand delivered to the police. Would you know anything about that?
There's been one or two that have come after me just because of my past and background that I've done, that I've had to handle in self-defense and then bring to the police, certainly.
But you haven't been running around cleaning up the neighborhood Ipman style or anything.
That, no, I have not.
Would you tell me if you had?
I don't know. Would you? But no, I have not. As stated before, I defend myself from those that come after me. As you can probably imagine, growing up in a destroyed city, that garnered you a lot of enemies just trying to survive.
Yes, I've spoken to many people who lived in the area prior to that, talking about the early days.
And I was quite literally born into it.
That must have been rough. I'm
He'd-
glad you at least
he'd-
had your grandfather.
He'd tap at one of the numerous scars. It was.
Well, thank you for coming by. And speaking with me.
Of course.
I'm sure. I'm sure the dean has already thanked you,
He has.
as well as I'm sure the parents of your students. But
Those were handled by my grandfather. But I did appreciate them nonetheless.
But perhaps with people like yourself out there and the police working at it, hopefully these alpha dogs will be shut down soon.
Of course.
And she does kind of the interview wrap up.
Yeah, and before that, he'd go like, "May I say something first before we wrap up?"
Oh, certainly. She gestures
hit-
towards the camera.
He'd turn the camera. To the citizens and the police department of Olympus, I do hope that you will work together to see the threat that these alpha dogs have posed will be removed from our city promptly. Then he just slight bow to the camera before straightening again.
At which point, Soledad goes, "Ooh, cut it right there. We'll cut it right there at the bow." Yeah. And actually, with current cameras, they don't have to take film or anything. So, yeah, tell the editing crew I'll be right there. But she turns back to you, thanks you again for the interview.
Of course.
If any of your friends, would like to be interviewed, or if you think I could talk any of them into it.
Tell you what, you handle this very professionally, and I did appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you.
Depending on how much cutting and editing was done when I see the report tonight, I'll speak to them and see if they might be willing to talk to you.
All right,
Is
that would
that
be
fair?
lovely. Absolutely. She scribbles out her number and hands it to you.
Of course. He'll take it and then
Uh,
I'll shake her hand.
Now, and she kind of walks you out. Now we might have to edit some stuff for time.
Of course.
Though we
As
we
long
came in pretty close to the time we'll need, so
As long as the message is left intact.
I'll make sure they do that. A few of the fluff questions might get edited out for time or something. You know how that is. But
I understand.
what address was that you wanted?
Oh yes, the address where that gang violence had taken place.
Oh, right. She pulled out her phone, checked
If
something.
nothing else, to do some research.
Oh, certainly. So she hands you the address.
Of course.
Then kind of tells you goodbye, and she scoots on off towards the
Mhm.
editing department.
Okay. And then he will. He'll dial Robert. Call him.
But as soon as you turn your phone on, you got a message from Jaden.
Swipe. Call Robert.
Wow.
He'll read it later.
Pals before gals. All right, Robert, you get a phone call.
Hello, Rubber Restoration. How can I help you?
Hello, Robert. It's Connor.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hey, are you still in the area?
Yeah, I'm not too far. Where are you exactly?
He will rattle off the address and say, I am currently at the news station. If you wouldn't mind driving by to pick me up.
No, not at all. Give me like 10 minutes. I'll be there.
Sure, I'll see you then.
Robert canonically doesn't use caller ID.
Also, Connor, for probably the first time to anybody, sounds very calm.
It's a little scary.
Just a little bit.
Well, I mean, Robert's probably more surprised, like, wait, you're actually calling for me to come pick you up? Oh, okay. Cool, I
Mm.
think.
Oh boy.
What?
But yeah, he happily drove by and picked Connor up.
And
It's
Connor
okay. He's waiting outside Channel 7 when you get there.
The fact that you have D10s and you decide to roll and roll 20.
The D100.
yeah.
2 D10s. Drop them down.
That I was trying to be subtle and not make noise.
It
Mhm.
beeps.
Oh,
It
did
does,
beep. That's
actually.
weird. It didn't beep on my side.
It
It
beeps on ours.
beeped on my side.
Oh, well, never
That's,
mind then.
that's why we all paused and took a look for a second. And he'll climb in. It's like, thank you for the ride. Would you mind taking us back to the apartment where everyone else, I believe, should be?
Yeah, sure, not a problem.
Of course.
Happily, like, turns on the right street and just
Oh.
starts heading that way.
Otter's on his way out, but he has redeemed a stretch. Everybody take a second to stretch.
That was a lot of joints popping.
Everyone
Yeah, it was.
sounds
I
like a
heard
gold
that.
stick or a glow stick.
Yeah.
Behold, glow stick.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't glow. I'm so disappointed.
It'd be so much cooler. That'd make getting older so much cooler if, like, when you stretched and knuckles cracked, it glowed.
That would be cool, yeah.
Humans could really use bioluminescence, just in general.
Yeah.
It'd be so handy.
It would.
Platypuses can buy
All right,
luminescence.
flashlight.
All right. So, like I said, you run by. Robert runs by, picks Connor up at Channel 7, which is what that D100 roll was about. I need a number for a news station or a TV station. There.
Yeah.
Now, none of you have seen the interview because it was recorded, not broadcast
Right.
live.
Mm-hmm.
But if Robert told them that told Jaden that he was in the news area, we were all just like, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of them
Then-
only know Chaos Monkey.
Uh-huh. Then I feel like I'm not gonna speak for the rest of the group, but at Telarius's apartment, I feel like Telarius is kind of like sitting with like very leisurely on a like a chair with like an ottoman or something to kick back on, just
Mm-hmm.
for them to show up.
Well, hey there, and it just beans him in the head to shoot. Bad monkey. No, monkey's a
Bad
bad
cast
monkey.
chow. Whap!
Mm-hmm.
Sasha's just kind of like half flopped over Smoochums.
Smoochums perks up when he sees other people coming in, but it's people he recognizes, so he calms back down.
Mm-hmm.
Is Spruce there?
Yes, because when they went to go meet up, she was coming back from the walking in the grove. So she would have left Spruce there.
There. So when there's a knock at the door, Spruce starts barking. When the door
My God.
opens, two of the heads, recognize you and calm down. The third head, who probably still recognizes you, but
Barks even louder.
hey, barks another time or two and then just kind of slowly growls.
Okay, Scully, you don't need to climb me like a tree.
But I must, Mother. There are no trees in the apartment.
There is a cat tree.
There is actually.
But
Yeah,
I
I
do
guess-
not like that tree, Mother.
I guess Connor and Robert just walk in with everybody else there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Immediately, what did you tell them?
You should probably
What
sit
time
up
is
straight. That's
the-
very poor for your posture.
What did you tell them?
I told them what I needed to.
What time is the news
It'll be at
that you're
6
going to be
o'clock.
on?
As he'd actually like walk over and like straighten Dolores' posture.
That's
That's
done doing
better.
it again.
Well, that's very poor for your spine to sit the way you were.
Spines are the most planned obsolescence on the human body.
And yet
I can
mine
stand up
allows me to
straight
run
my
across
entire
buildings.
life, and I will still crumble.
Well, try not to make it so that you crumble earlier in age.
Anyway,
Yes, Sasha, you have a question. I see your expression.
You sound like my father, and I do not like it.
I'm sorry. It is. Do you all know who created me? I believe I've told you.
said Wukong.
Yes.
Okay.
From what he has explained to me, the Shin have dual natures, yin and yang. You all have seen me in the yang state, how I prefer to be. Bold, forceful, and takes direct action. There are
Yeah.
times, like in an interview with the news station, I have to go to yin. Calm, collected, and methodical. It allows me to better manage the bureaucracy of the mortal world.
So you could just like do that on a dial, or
It's our nature. After all, it's one of the things that my creator is known for is his love for operas and plays, artistry. So it's as simple as, and he'll wave a hand up his face and he's just all grins, putting on a mask. This is the state I prefer to be, of course. Yes, hilarious. What is it? I could see the smoke coming out of your ears.
it's just how does it feel to just be able to emotionally manipulate yourself?
Don't you do the same thing?
No, I kind of go with
you
what I'm feeling at
are-
the time.
You're a YouTube personality.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that you are mostly you, I watched your videos, you still are a little bit extra in your videos. This is the same concept. I just choose what parts of my nature I wish to portray.
That makes sense, actually.
Besides, if you've ever studied anything about soldiers, there is what's called a warrior's persona. It's the same concept.
No, I haven't studied soldiers so much that I just.
Okay. Well, short version then. It's basically a trigger, a mental trigger that they use to help differentiate who they need to be at the time. For soldiers, it's that trigger can help differentiate between if someone surprises them, like say at home while they're cooking, they don't turn around and stab them like they probably would in a wartime situation in order to protect themselves, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
I've always been a little bit more of a warrior myself. So it was easy to help cultivate a persona in kind of the same way. Times when I need to be calm and collected and actually function as a normal human being, or however normal people like us can be, honestly. And times when I can just be me.
So now that we got all of that out of the way, let's.
You asked.
How? I did, and I appreciate the answer. What's next? How did it go? Did they seem skeezy? Did they? I don't trust. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't trust the media.
Oh, that's fine. She seemed pretty up and up. I didn't promise that you all would speak to her, although I did imply that that a condition to me speaking with you all to potentially speak with the person I spoke to would be that the message that I gave would be untouched. That they would portray it as it was meant to be portrayed.
All right. Said 6, right?
Yes, 6 o'clock news.
I assume we just make conversation until 6 and then watch it.
Well, yeah, I've got some information to exchange, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have a lot of names from the library.
Yes, before I forget, hold on. He'll pull out his pocket. It's like, oh, that was her number. And he'll set that down. Oh, right, address. Here.
Huh?
This is where a lot of gang violence has been happening between the Alpha Dogs and other gangs in the city.
So you just got it like that?
Never underestimate bureaucracy. That's kind of my Pantheon's thing.
All right. Well, do we want to act on this now? Do we want to wait and watch the interview?
Well, either or. I figured you might be interested to at least do a little bit of study on it, see if we might be able to find something. I'm good to
I'll-
just roll in and smack something, but
Don't get me
You're-
wrong. I like that.
You're always good to roll in and smack something though.
yep,
Mm.
I
So-
really am. Have we got a drink around here?
Whatever's in the fridge.
No, sweet.
They have like Coke, OJ, like standard stuff.
Not like grapefruit, sparkling mineral water or anything.
He'll go in and open the fridge and it's like, me on caffeine.
Oh no.
Sasha's looking over Clarice's shoulder. Where is that address in the city?
I'll look it up on Google Maps.
Robert, hearing that comment from Connor, him on caffeine blight, son, have you heard of coffee?
You mean that vile bean? No, thank you. I'm good.
That
And
vile
you're
being.
lost.
My gain, actually.
All right. So this bit of gang violence was taking place. Let's see. I think the Rubicon. Okay, there's where the Rubicon was. Need to mark it on this map too.
We need to mark Rubicon, Talarius's apartment.
Oh, Talarius' apartment is one I should have put down.
Probably just mark all of our apartments.
But the
this point.
area, well, y'all are all in, kind of the same general area.
Fair enough.
Probably kind of this area down around here.
Yeah.
This being the Grove, being kind of the big park that Jaden keeps going to.
Mhm.
But the gang
Hey.
violence was up here past the north, past the belt line.
Okay.
It's some of the, lower income area of the city. When you get over here, you have some industrial park kind of stuff going on. But that's not, too terribly far away from your neighborhoods, which is also where the Alpha Dogs have been active. So,
Yeah.
off the top of your head, you don't know what gang is more active up there,
Mm-hmm.
because
Is it any-
that's not an area where Connor explores much.
Okay. About to say, would it be any of the ones that Connor might at least know of off the top of his head, though?
Sure, I don't have names for them currently, but give me a gang name if you want to.
Valentinos.
Valentinos. The Valentinos are up there.
Okay. I've got a few others, but I'm pulling them all out of the various gangs from Cyberpunk because that's
Oh,
what's on top of my
no.
head right now.
Please don't drag in copyrighted.
Yeah.
Valentinos is just a name.
CD Projekt Red is gonna be knocking on Dire Bear's door.
Well, they do have all
Hello,
those.
DMCA.
They do have all those class action suits to deal with, so they may need the money.
They get hit for Valentinos and not for Waffle House.
Yeah.
All right, do y'all share the information you got from the library?
Yes.
All right.
Since we got a bunch of names. They all seem to be just rich boys.
Do you tell them about throwing a brick through some poor lady's window?
Wait, no, does Robert tell us that? Or did he see it?
I'm not sure Robert would have necessarily. Well, he might have seen him throw something, whether or not he doesn't notice the window being broken. But he saw the
Connor
police
was
show
up
up.
on-
Connor was up on top of a roof when he did that.
Yeah, I was fixed to say, I don't know if Robert would have really noticed anything.
Well, he'd have noticed the police. Connor
Oh,
ran
yeah,
over,
no, he
got
would
in the
notice the
truck. A little bit
police.
later, the police show up. They walk out of her house
Come
with a brick in
outside
a
with a
bag.
brick.
He probably would have looked over at Connor and gave him a look really? Really?
Well, no, you guys did talk about it at the
Y'all
end.
had that conversation.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were getting on about it.
Mm.
So does either one of you share that with the rest of the class?
I
No.
mean, Robert would have brought that back up now explain to me again why you threw a brick in a woman's house.
You did what now?
Yes. Why did you?
It was the quickest way to determine whether or not the Alpha Dogs were still there.
Or you could have looked in the window.
And, to be fair, if nothing else, it'd just be something else blamed on the Alpha Dogs because that's what they've been doing to to everybody else's location, is throwing bricks in the window. So it's part of their MO, I guess.
They go back to their previous place of residence and throw a brick through their previous frat house's window. For what reason?
Somebody else moved in, and they want it back. Trying to scare him away.
That's flimsy at best.
Best idea I had at the time.
Have the ability to rationalize things at will. You choose to not.
This is the state I prefer to be in.
He is our dear beloved Chaos Monkey, so
I'm sure your grandfather would be very proud of you.
Hmm.
And she's just gonna go wait for the news to start.
Okay. 6 o'clock news 6 o'clock news comes on.
Hmm.
They cover some of the other stuff. Then they get into the fire. You know, they get into talking about the fire at the dean's place again. Really nothing new in the investigation. They mentioned that the dean has been released from the hospital. That his wife is doing better, but is still there for observation. As she already had some sort of kind of pre-existing condition with her lungs, so they're keeping a closer eye on her. It is mentioned that she's being, she got police protection. They don't say anything about like where the dean's staying or anything, of course. But one of the detectives they interview, just mentions that both of them have police protection currently, since they seem to be, actual targets.
Hmm.
Excuse me. Interview comes on. Connor, you can spot the spots where they did some editing. Like she warned you, some of the early kind of fluff questions. Some of those got cut out. When you asked her for the address, that whole little section's cut out. But other than that, everything else is pretty well. There doesn't seem to be any kind of attempting to, spin the conversation or meddle with it or change what you were saying to try to imply something else. None of that seems to be going on.
Mm-hmm.
It seems she was pretty straightforward with you. Might be because they've had nobody in town has had any luck getting any interviews with any of the rest of you.
Yeah.
Well, we're the only one he'll talk to. Let's not burn that bridge right away.
Mm-hmm.
So you have effectively painted a target on your back.
That is the plan.
Now there's a plan?
Yes.
wait, we're actually planning stuff? What?
News to me.
Not that much of an idiot. Jeez.
I'm not implying you're an idiot, but you went and did all of this on your own.
Yeah, well, I know sometimes I don't think you've made that clear. But I mean, honestly, of all of us, I'm the warrior. I'm not the
That's
best at
true.
subtle interactions.
And then you're
Then
aware of this, then you should ask other people.
Without hesitation, Robert dips his head down like, yeah, don't ask me about this. I'm just a craftsman. That's all I do.
I figured that with some more attention on me, you all could do something in the background. I do my job as the warrior of our group. Keep the fight on me while you all fight in the flanks.
You
What
also
Yeah,
could have
part of
tried
I'm a craftsman did not come across to you just now?
but
It's
then
part
you
of
let
phrase.
us know
And
so that we know what you're doing, because now you're doing this. We don't know what's going on. Let us know in advance instead of randomly running somewhere and doing something.
quick aside, I watched you truck somebody. You're not just a craftsman.
You also have other people to consider. This also could have painted a target on your grandfather's back. He has skills, but he does not have skills such as yours.
He's
Tends
kind
to be
of
why I shy away from the
he
media.
just kind of flips over the couch and just sits on behind the couch pouting.
I have bananas if you. Is that a thing or is that a faux pas?
Hand just comes up from behind the couch.
That's racist. No.
They'll go and get a banana and just give him like the bunch.
Hand disappears with bananas.
Every now and then a peel goes arching over the couch.
Somehow makes it into the basket every time.
Epic dexterity.
Your hand has been forced. What do we do with this?
We have locations. Maybe we can look into them.
And do what? Go and murder each one of them in their sleep?
Not to murder them. Just we all have a reason to. We all have our own reason to go after them. So
What end?
mine's just stop them from doing what they're doing. Somebody out there is somebody in a divine sense is pulling the strings with these alpha dogs, and it's we need to find out before it gets worse. So the more avenues we can hit up, the less resources they have to do this.
You saw who those two parents were. They have money, they have funds.
But that's if they're behind this.
We can always go ask them. They're
Oh, yes, just walk up. Hi, are you involved in setting fire and attempting to murder a dean? Just asking for a friend.
now. You underestimate the subtleties of conversation sometimes. You can ask without asking, and know without having. Sometimes people will just rat themselves out without realizing it. This is kind of one of those things where my purview comes in, not in the game mechanic sense, but talking to people, learning, getting one up on them in a social contest.
Oh, they know all of the faces.
Flying banana peel.
They might not. If they know me, they might know me from YouTube, and I could just be doing an interview with one of them, as opposed to just And besides that, I didn't really get on the. I didn't necessarily get on. I wasn't necessarily recorded with you all. I was just doing the
You post-
recording.
You posted the video with
You
sound
all.
effects and
And
imagery.
just throw this out there, I seem to recall there being one point at which Amoriad was showing the action while selfieing and talking to the camera during that
That's
initial
fair.
big fight.
Yeah.
And then there was that whole bit about gang violence.
Yeah, but that's just gang violence. I bet they would decry gang violence if I asked them to. And they would still be part of the Alpha Dogs. Just like a typical bullshit politician.
So while y'all have been discussing this, the
Uh-huh.
news continued on. It went into the weather and sports and yada yada.
Sure.
It wrapped up with whatever TV show they were that plays after the news has come on. And it's probably about half over while y'all been talking about this. Connor has been sulking with his bananas. Every now and then, into the trash can.
It's way too much potassium.
You'd have
It's
to
good
eat
fiber.
40,000 bananas for the radiation poisoning to kill me in 10 minutes.
Yes, the radiation would kill you.
Not the 40,000 bananas.
Just top of the head, just over the couch, just he's still sucking.
So anyway, like I said, show's about the show after the news is about half over. When suddenly the show interrupts, you see the news desk again. One of the chairs has been knocked over. Soledad is sitting in the other chair, and a man is standing kind of slightly to one side, kind of behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Flames are licking up and down his arms.
Does anyone recognize him?
Connor doesn't recognize him. Robert doesn't recognize him. Any of y'all that were researching at the library might have seen a picture of him.
And who would he have been if we might have seen a picture
I'm
of him?
betting that guy.
James Durant. Now, he looks a little older than he did in the college picture.
Sure.
Unlike, say, Amoriad's dad, this guy looks like he's aged since, what was it, 10 years ago that this frat got taken out?
Mm-hmm. That's concerning.
And where, the pictures you've got of him, he was clean shaven, and he's got more of a beard now.
But to clarify, he does not look like one of the people that that Sasha was overheard the other day.
No, he was not one of the guys standing outside the place.
Okay. That would have been too obvious. Gotcha. Okay, just making sure.
Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing?
What? What's going? Oh,
Yeah.
On the news.
Like I
Are they-
said, Soledad's still sitting there. The chair next to her where the male anchor tended to see it, that chair seems to have been knocked over.
Is this person gonna monologue here in a sec? And are we waiting for a monologue or are we running?
I don't know.
We should wait for a monologue.
Said no superhero group ever.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's gonna be a little bit of a walk anyways to the news station. We should at least
Mm.
see what's going on. Us running now, we could miss information.
Yeah.
And I imagine we're all a little bit stunned. This is
We're
kind of
gonna
our
let
first.
the DM. We're gonna let the DM monologue. Go for it.
This is our first toe dip into being superheroes. So
Uh huh.
Hello, Olympus. I'm James Durant. My name has come up lately. I just wanted to come here, set the record straight. And he's talking with his hands. Like I said, as he does it, there's fire running all over him.
Gesticulates in Hispanic.
Thank you, Dick and Aaron.
So,
That's my train of thought.
so he's kind of on fire.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be burning his clothes, though. But, hadn't really meant to let y'all know I was back so soon, but the dean was running his mouth. He was always a pain in my ass. I blame that wannabe ninja, who seems to be, and in case you're wondering, I'm talking about you, Connor. You seem to be nosing into my business a little too often. Suspiciously often. It's like I can't go take a crap without him sniffing around.
Visceral image.
So you didn't have all your little friends with you last night. At least not that my boys saw. But I just want you to know they're on my list too. The Alpha Dogs are going to be running this town before much longer. So any of you out there that you know we have a beef with, that'd be probably be a good time for y'all to, leave. That'd be old Connor. The old man that runs that dojo. Yeah, y'all probably want to leave. The dean and his wife really need to leave. Not too happy with let's see, what was that last name again? Dippolito? Lito?
Mm-hmm.
Was I close?
I don't know your name.
Yeah, Tepolito, something like that.
Tepolito, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't too happy with her. He's like poking her while he talks. She's been nosing around in my business a little bit too. Which, I guess is good reporting, but good reporting, it can lead to bad things. He kind of runs his hand down the side of her face, grabs her hair, and it goes. Not like her head catches on fire, but he burns the hair he's holding. You see the smoke.
Mm.
She
It's like a
wriggles her
really
nose,
bad
and even he's
pattern.
like, oh, that stank. Oh. Note to self, don't do that again. Anyway, I know the police are on the way, so I probably need to be going. But just to give you a little heads up that coming after me would be a bad idea. And then he's like, he's been talking to the camera, and then he kind of looks like maybe he's looking at somebody running the camera, and the camera pans back. So you see like the entire news set, and you start to see kind of some of the background stuff. It pans back further than they would in a show because you're seeing the. And he turns and just starts burning, setting like he's setting the place on fire. Sets a fire over here, sets a fire over here, and then walks off camera. you see Soledad start kind of struggling, and you realize her hands are like, must be secured to the chair.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Showtime.
Showtime.
If anything, we at least need to get those people out of the damn
And let's get going.
news station. Let's go.
Yeah, Connor's that he just
Crash through
through the
window.
door. No, he's going through the damn door.
That costs money.
And just he's gone.
All right, the station, if you look on your maps, the station is kind of over here. So not terribly, terribly far away from y'all are.
Yeah, Sasha's going downstairs. Smoochum's behind her. We'll probably need the truck.
Don't worry, I'll get it warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Judy
everybody
will
piles
be
into the
bringing
vehicle. Oh, I'm sorry.
Spruce with her.
Bring Spruce
So.
in there
Oh yeah.
To the Robert one.
to the Robert Mobile.
We should workshop a name for his truck.
Well, it could be the Something Mobile. The Something just needs to be like y'all's band name or something.
Well, we don't have a band name yet.
We just barely became a band.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll all pile in Robert's vehicle.
All right, so y'all take off.
Mm-hmm.
When you arrive, there's already some police on hand. There are fire trucks parked back there. None of the firefighters seem to be approaching the building yet. There's like a roughly made barricade in front of the front door, and you see some guys in like the frat shirts and stuff standing back there. As you pull up, you see one. He's holding a glass bottle, looks like a liquor bottle in his hand. He holds it over to his buddy, who reaches out and touches it with his finger, and this rag out of the top of it catches on fire, and then he chunks it.
Great, he just makes fucking Molotovs.
Can Connor just like from the roof just go crashing down on one of them? Like as he was running, he's actually gonna like in his head be praying to Sun Wukong. It's like, I brought harm to these people. Please give me the strength to save them.
Delirious was right about the media.
You say your little prayer, you spring forward. The only response to your prayer is, though, you burp and you taste the banana again.
That seems on brand. That's on brand.
So yeah, the guy that had chunked the Molotov has grabbed another one. His buddy has lit that just as you're coming down on him.
Yeah. What would you like me to roll?
I feel like that's something we'll do next week.
Probably close combat. We'll go ahead and do this kind of first round as y'all run it. Not Channel 7's news crew, but other news crews are already on site.
Channel 7 is on site.
But where you've got, you've got the police cars, you've got the firefighters back behind there and not approaching until the police have managed to, you've got the news crews are even a little bit further back. But of course, unlike people with cell phones, you're dealing with people with good cameras.
Yep.
Now I'm assuming the way Connor springs in is basically using his staff to kind of propel him.
Yeah, he used the staff to propel him from the roof and then tucked it away again as he's just coming down, just like to drop kick this guy in the head.
All right, give me a close combat.
Superhero landing.
Dexterity, I suppose.
Alrighty.
All right, I believe this guy's defense is a 1.
So that is.
But for some reason, my
that is
iPad
two
decided to
successes.
Close my app down. It's only been sitting here for 3 hours. I don't know why. Did they?
Mm. Only 3 hours.
Well, the first 2, it was still up.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. That's not the right one.
Mm.
There we go. Antagonist. All right. Defense. Yes, defense is 1.
Okay.
All right. So what did you get?
2 successes technically.
All right. So you got a
Okay.
success plus the enhancement that you have. Or
Unless you want to count any extra successes for surprise attack leaping from a rooftop.
I'll give you an extra success for that, but this guy is going to, that last second when he spots you, he's going to try to get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not.
Okay.
All right, so that is 2 successes. So you have 2 successes to spend
Okay.
on combat stunts.
Right. He's going to spin the other 2 to he kind of landed on the guy with the Molotov. He's gonna just twist the arm and take the Molotov to disarm him, and just sort of like roll the bottle off to the side out of his reach.
Okay.
Well, out of both their reaches, really. Just
All right, so you inflict damage which is a 0 cost, and then those extra 2 you disarmed. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Then you take the lit Molotov and just kind of roll it over to the side.
I don't think he had. I think he was like going to try and light it, and then
Okay.
and then
We'll
surprise
say you got down there before his buddy was able to light it, and you grab it.
Yeah. I have no idea how much damage falling from that distance does to the guy and landing on him, but
Well, if you got enforced successes, you could have done a critical to him, which would have done 2 health levels of damage.
yeah, that would have been nice. But
all right, so how are the rest of you approaching this? Basically, as we end, everybody's rushing onto the scene. So you see Connor jump down, smack that guy, grab his liquor bottle, toss it to the side. Probably kind of look over at the next guy that was lighting him.
Yep. Teeth are bared, and there's actually like some slightly visible fangs from slightly elongated canines.
Teleria sees the flying monkey and is just like, "Oh, that's our cue."
So Robert,
Hops
do you pull up where the police are at and park, or do you just jump the curb further down and head into the park?
Well, hopefully jump the curve because she does have a 3-headed dog in his truck.
I'd about to say he would have jumped a curve and
Alright, so-
gone down a little bit further.
Up on the sidewalk, through the bushes, and into the parking lot.
Knocking down several fences in the process.
Didn't really seem to have any fences around the front. It was just kind of a hedge row sort of setup.
Oh, okay.
Now the
Alright,
back
well-
area is fenced in, where their weatherman's got a little something he does, a little garden he does out back or something.
Yeah. Yeah, then Telarius is like, "All right, let's do this."
All right, so
There's superhero
that's where we
ending
end. The truck, the Robert Mobile pulls up. All of y'all start spraying out, or falling out of it. The
Yeah.
animals jump down. You hear some of the police and firefighters. What the crap are that? What do they have?
Mm-hmm.
News cameras that were focused on Connor. Some of them swing over to y'all.
Sasha does not look like Sasha anymore. She just like picked something random, like in a panic, like pink hair, pink hair, really pale, blue eyes.
Thanks back to the cartoon known as Pink, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like Jem from Jem and the Holograms right now for no reason.
Yeah.
That's it.
Watched too much Boomerang as a child. Got a little star around her eye and everything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
God, I watched that when it came on, like first run. I'm fucking.
Oh yeah, so did I. We had one TV, so that was the one my sister wanted to watch. So
Technically, we got started late. We could run for a little longer.
yeah, but if we do, we'll
Okay.
just start talking about Jem and the Holograms. And I was just about
That's
to have to
true.
bring up how that was supposed to be in the same world as G.I. Joe and Inhumanoids and all of Hasbro's
Yeah.
cartoons at the time.
Mhm.
What did you think about it?
Ah,
The tech level in that cartoon, it really did fit.
Yeah.
Good old Hanna-Barbera.
I'm not sure if that was Hanna-Barbera that did all the Hasbro cartoons. Oh well, we're already on a tangent.
Mhm.
To
Anyway.
the tangent. That's her name.
So yeah, that's kind of where the scene will freeze. Connor already in the middle of it. All of y'all moving in to back him up. All the bystanders like. So
Sasha in her head. I'm gonna get a phone call after this.
Mhm.
quite possibly, almost certainly. So we're up here with all of y'all live on the news. Next week we'll move in. You'll move in and see who you can or can't save in this area.
Mhm.
Let's see. Right, the ending spiel. So be back tomorrow. Anybody watching, be back tomorrow for Monster of the Week. Then we should have Descent into Avernus on Thursdays. Take a break on Fridays. We have the Lost Cities on Saturday. We break on Sunday. Be back Monday with Is the Troubleshooter still going?
Yes.
Okay. I know they're down
Not
to the
for much
last
longer.
few episodes.
Yeah.
Then be back here Tuesday for some more of us. Again, I was your story guide for the evening, Jason over the Nerd Turtle Network. By the way, if you go to thenerdturtle.com, we now have a shop up.
Ooh.
I've been ordered by my
Ooh.
partners to pimp that whenever I get a chance.
Mhm.
Brava, brava.
And joining me today was Sarah playing Sasha, Rap playing Jaden, Eric playing Connor, Duba playing Robert, and Deca playing Talarius. Hope everybody enjoyed it, and hope y'all come back to see us next week, and we will talk to y'all later.